and welcome back to another video. I hope you've been keeping so very well. Today I'm going to bring you along and show you what I eat in a day as a vegan, and in particular in this video I wanted to focus on a high protein what I eat in a day. This is always one of my most highly requested topics to cover, so I hope this video gives you some fun new high protein vegan ideas to try out at home. As always, I'm starting my day with an iced cacao today. Here it is, we've got it on almond milk today, and as well as that, to make it a high protein iced cacao, I put in some of this salted caramel almond protein. This is by the brand Macromic that I really enjoy. And we already know that an iced cacao is the most divine way to start the day. So a little bit of salted caramel is just gonna make it extra special. Oh my god, that's so good. Now for breakfast this morning, I'm gonna make one of my favorite high protein breakfasts. And I know that you might be thinking it's tofu scramble. It's not. It is the next best thing. Or honestly, some days it's even better than a tofu scramble. The protein source that I'm going to use in this breakfast is tempeh. Now, if you've been around my channel a while, you'll know that I used to not enjoy tofu. Tofu is a really great source of plant-based protein, but I literally used to think that it was like the worst thing ever. That has now changed as I've learned how to cook it, but something that was such a good protein source for me before my love for tofu was my love for tempeh. Whilst a lot of tempeh is made from soybeans, you can get tempehs that are made from different things. This one is a red rice and chickpea tempeh, and personally chickpea tempeh is my favorite type. It just does have a little bit of a different flavor to a soy tempeh, so I definitely recommend trying a tempeh with like a different bean if you haven't before. And yeah, let's get into making breakfast. So of course I start by cutting up this chickpea tempeh, and I'm just going to use half a block of it and cut it into 4 thick pieces. Then into a bowl I put some olive oil as well as some soy sauce, followed by a little bit of maple syrup, some smoked paprika, and a little bit of garlic and onion powder. Then I'm adding in a tiny bit of salt and some pepper, and I'm going to also add in some nutritional yeast before mixing that all together. Then I add the tempeh into the bowl, and I'm going to toss it and coat it until it's all nice and saucy and very well seasoned. Then I'm putting a frying pan over medium heat and adding in this delicious tempeh, and I'm going to leave this to fry up, making sure that I rotate it and get it nice and crispy on as many sides as possible. Whilst that's frying, I also cut a couple of pieces of sourdough and I put these in the toaster, and then I also prepped some tomato by slicing it nice and thinly. When it came to preparing my sandwich, I put some vegan butter on 1 piece of toast, followed by some avocado, as well as some fresh cos lettuce. Then I added on that delicious smoky tempeh that I had made, followed by some fresh tomato, of course, love fresh tomato. Then I put some vegan mayonnaise on the other piece, and I assembled this delish sandwich. What's funny to me in this moment is that I somehow think that I'm actually going to be able to eat this, like, as a sandwich. I cut the toast so thick, and I did the tempeh so thick as well, but it's still going to be delicious. I also picked the wrong day to wear white, but that's fine. Wow, look at that. I'm telling you, if you haven't tried making a tempeh or tofu toasty for breakfast yet, this is your reminder to do so. If I had a cafe, this is one of those things that would 100% be on the menu. Like, it just tastes so good with the fresh lettuce and avo and tomato. You've got the delicious vegan mayo, and then you've got like the smoky tempeh. Whilst I'm here, I want to say a big thank you to my friends at Squarespace for making today's video possible. If you're new here, I do have a website, which is amandadux.com, and there you can find some extra delicious vegan recipes, as well as my ebook and links to all of my social media platforms. And I host and design my website using Squarespace, which I first used like, I feel like over 3 years ago now, and my website has transformed over those years, and I love trying out new designs and just evolving my website website as I evolve as a human, basically. But if you're a small business owner, I genuinely cannot recommend Squarespace enough. It has been such a game changer for me when it has come to elevating my business, being able to sell products, being able to link all of my social media in one place, and have a way for people to be able to contact me through the website as well. I've been able to set up my website all by myself, which has been great on the cost side of things. And yeah, I've just had great benefit from using Squarespace, and I recommend it to all of my friends. If you're ever looking to host or design your own website, I highly recommend using Squarespace to do so. You can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux and use my code AmandaDux, which gets you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. All right, I'm gonna enjoy my toasty. I'll catch up with you when it's time for lunch. I'm making a really quick and easy lunch today, and I'm preparing tofu in arguably like my favorite way at the moment. I've been really enjoying tearing it up like this and then putting it into a container, and then into the container I put some corn flour. I also then add in some garlic powder and onion powder, as well as some vegan chicken stock powder, and then I shake this all up and get the tofu nice and well coated before transferring it into a frying pan with some oil. I'm going to fry this on medium to high heat. The corn flour gets the tofu really nice and crispy, which is why I have been loving it so much. Whilst it's frying, I also put some natural coconut yogurt as well as some grated cucumber into a bowl. I then also add in some lemon and a pinch of salt and pepper, and I mix this together to make a sauce for our lunch. I also prepared what else I was using for my lunch, which was some red onion as well as some fresh tomato, of course, and I diced both of these. Then I'm using one souvlaki wrap bread with some of the sauce as well as some fresh lettuce, that tomato and red onion, and then a whole heap of this delicious crispy tofu to make such an easy and delicious lunch. If you haven't tried cooking tofu like this is your reminder that you need to try it. Listen to how crispy it is. Honestly, this is so delicious, and it was so quick and easy to make as well. It only took me like 20 minutes, and I feel like it's the perfect balance of like freshness but heartiness as well. Just an iconic lunch all round. So I wanted to try making something new today that I've honestly been pretty hesitant to try, but my friend Kelsey, who is studying nutrition and dietetics, posted a recipe for a tofu chocolate pudding on her Instagram. I'm gonna leave it linked down below if you want to check it out and just check her out in general, but tofu chocolate pudding is one of those things that I've seen so many times and honestly kind of turned my nose up at it. However, Kelsey's recipe looked so good that I was like, I think it's time that I actually give this a go. And today felt like the perfect day because we're doing high protein, and of course this recipe has 300 grams of silken tofu in it, so that is a decent amount of protein. Okay, so we're starting with the silken tofu. Wow. Adding in, oh, this is really watery, this coconut cream, so we'll see how this goes. Adding some coconut cream in. Then I'm also adding in some melted dark chocolate. Ooh, I swear chocolate is literally just like the best thing ever. Some maple syrup, some vanilla bean paste. Ooh. Also adding in some cacao, and I might add in a pinch of salt actually. Okay, let's blend this all up. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, it's blending up so well. Okay. I know it still needs to set in the fridge, but honestly, look at this texture. Oh my god. Okay, so I've transferred the mousse into 1, 2, 3 different little glass containers. I'm gonna put them in the fridge. Apparently they need a few hours to set, and then we will try. I'm actually really, really excited. Let's get our pudding out. Okay, the pudding has been setting for a few hours. It's looking good. Let's see what this texture is like actually. Oh my god, it's like literally so moussey. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh my goodness. I'm literally so confused as to why I can't taste the tofu in this. It literally just tastes like chocolate mousse, like from my childhood. It is so weird. As I said, I'm gonna link the recipe down below. I couldn't recommend trying this enough, especially if you want like a high protein treaty. Like the fact that this is tofu is actually blowing my mind. Now when it comes to dinner tonight, I am personally very excited for what I'm gonna make, because I'm gonna make spaghetti and meatballs. I love making spaghetti and meatballs, but I don't do it very often, and honestly I probably haven't done it in like a year, so I'm really looking forward to this dinner. In Australia we have a lot of mock meat products, so you actually can buy like vegan minces and pre-done vegan meatballs and stuff like that from the supermarket, but today I want to show you how you can make them yourself using 2 specific ingredients as like our protein source base for these meatballs. So I'm going to use lentils because I personally love lentils, and my favorite sources of protein tend to be beans and tofu, but I'm also going to use some TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. This tends to have quite a mincy texture, and I actually go through phases of whether I'm enjoying eating TVP or not, but I am enjoying it at the moment, so I think it will go really well in the meatballs. But yeah, TVP is a really good source of vegan protein. It's also relatively affordable, and it's super easy to cook and to flavor and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're looking to add more protein into your plant-based diet and you're not eating TVP, I think trying out some TVP recipes would be a good idea. All right, let's get into cooking dinner. I'm going to start by making the meatballs, and then we're going to get into the rest of it. So I started dinner by putting some lentils into my food processor. I then also diced up some brown onion, and I put this in there as well. Then after that I added in some herbs. I will list them down in the description box if you want to try making this, as well as some vegan beef stock powder and some nutritional yeast, some plain flour and some breadcrumbs. And then also put some TVP that I had prepared into there. I made it a bit too watery, but we got there in the end. And then I blended this all together until it was nice and smooth. And then of course I'm going to roll this dough into meatballs. Now I like to bake the meatballs first before putting them in the sauce. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting them all onto a tray and then putting them into the oven to bake. Whilst they're baking, I put some olive oil as well as some brown onion, some red chili flakes into a frying pan and started frying that up. I then also added in some tomato paste and continued frying that before adding in some passata. I continue frying everything, adding in some white sugar as well as some salt and some pepper as I go. I then also put some spaghetti on to cook as the meatballs finished up. I transferred the meatballs into the sauce and got them nice and well coated, and then this is going to add to our dish absolutely beautifully. I actually can't believe that I didn't get any food on my almost all white outfit today. It's kind of a miracle, especially making this spaghetti and meatballs, which looks so good, if I do say so myself. The amount of ingredients that I used in making these meatballs is good to serve like 2 to 3 people depending on how many you want to have. And that is a look at what the meatballs look like inside. Honestly, I feel like I've just nailed it with the food today. Everything has been super delish. I hope you enjoyed this video and got at least one new high protein vegan recipe idea to try out at home. As always, thank you so much for being here and supporting me and my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!